keep milk from souring?
Leave it in the cow.
Correct. Pay that man $8. What is a miser?
A man who eats mice.
Correct. Pay that man $9 because...
It pays to be ignorant.
You know, Mr. Howard, I met a very old friend of mine last week.
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen her all for 10 years.
All right.
Mrs. Donaldson. You didn't know her, did you?
No, I didn't know her.
Well, a funny thing, I'd only been talking to her about a minute when she got very angry at me, and for nothing.
Well, what did you say to her?
I just asked her how her husband was standing the heat.
Well, that's nothing to get angry about.
Certainly not. How did I know her husband had been dead 5 years?
I thought that... What office does a presidential candidate seek?
You mean he's looking for an office? How much rent does he want to pay? I got a friend of mine who's got an office. He'll rent him half of it.
Well, you know, it's awfully hard to get office space these days. I mean, things are so crowded.
Yeah.
Now, you take the buses. The buses are so crowded, even the men are standing.
Even the men.
You said it. Why, I was in Washington the other day, and boy, is that town crowded.
Wonder why Washington is so crowded.
Well, it must be because there are so many people there.
You know, I think you're right, Mr. McNaughton.
Thank you.
It may be just a coincidence, but I've noticed that whenever a lot of people get on a subway train, it's always crowded.
Is it the truth?
Yeah.
I know when I get into a subway train, it's always crowded.
Mr. Connell, if the train was empty when you got on, it would be crowded. Let's get on now with a question. Let's get back to it. What office does the presidential candidate seek? Do any of you know anything about politics?
Oh, politics. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'll tell you one thing. I think they're making our congressmen work much too hard, Mr. Howard. They need more rest.
What makes you think so?
Well, when a man has to make a speech lying down, I'd say he needs a rest.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Where do you get the idea that they make speeches lying down?
Oh, I read it in the paper, old boy. I read it myself. It said Congressman so-and-so made a brilliant speech from the floor of the House.
From the floor.
I heard it. I read it.
Miss McNaughton, if your face had a more intelligent expression, I'd think you were kidding.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Mr. McNaughton is a college man.
Okay.
Why, he was the head of his fraternity.
I know, a frat head. I know that.
Oh, is that so? Is that so? I'll have you know someday I may be president.
Yeah.
Ha! Don't be silly. Don't be silly.
Would you like to swing on a star, carry moonbeams home in a jar, and be better off than you are? Or would you rather be a mule? A mule is an animal with dirt on his face. His back is a horrible disgrace. His back is thorny and his brain is weak. He's just plain stupid with a stubborn streak. And by the way, if you hate to go to school, you may grow up to be a mule. Or would you like to swing on a star, carry moonbeams home in a jar, and be better off than you are? Or would you rather be a pig?
A pig is an animal with dirt on his face. His shoes are a terrible disgrace. Now, he's got no manners when he eats his food. He's fat and lazy and extremely rude. But if you don't care a feather or a fig, you may grow up to be a pig.
Or would you like to swing on a star, carry moonbeams home in a jar, and be better off than you are? Or would you rather be a fish?
A fish won't do anything but swim in a brook. He can't write his name or read a book. To fool the people is his only thought, and though he's slippery, he still gets caught. But then if that sort of life is what you wish, you too may go up to be a fish.
And all the monkeys are in the zoo.